Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has urged Myanmar's military to release civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other elected leaders and work out a peaceful way forward. Mr. Lee says that if the military doesn't do that, there is very little outsiders can do for the situation, which he calls an enormous tragic step back. He was speaking in an interview with the BBC. It's the first time he's commented on the affairs in Myanmar.
To use lethal force against civilian unarmed demonstrators, I think, is just not acceptable. It's disastrous, not just internationally, but it's disastrous domestically, because it means that the civilians, everybody in Myanmar knows. You may try and squeeze down the internet, but news gets around and the Myanmar population knows who's on their side. To arrest Aung San Suu Kyi as well as her ministers and the president and charge them with walkie-talkie offenses and things like that, I don't think that's going to help solve the problem. So you really have to release Aung San Suu Kyi, negotiate with her and her team, and work out a peaceful way forward for Myanmar. Outsiders have very little influence on this. You can ostracize them, you can condemn them, you can pass resolutions or not, but it really has very little influence on what the Myanmars will do. It had zero influence the last time round, and the only impact was, for lack of anybody willing to talk to them, they fell back on those people who were willing to talk to them, which was China and to some extent India. And it was an uncomfortable position for them, but it did not cause them to decide, I must do what the Americans or the Europeans or even the other ASEAN countries would have preferred them to do.
Well, Mr. Lee says that while countries must express disapproval, the reality is that further action, such as military intervention or sanctions, is unlikely to change anything. Instead, it could do more harm.
I don't think it's a matter of economic considerations for benefit from trade with Myanmar. The volume of trade is very small for us and I think for many other countries. Question is, what can make a difference to them, and if you do impose sanctions, who will hurt? And it will not be the military or the generals who will hurt. It will be the Myanmar population who will hurt. You will deprive them of foods, of medicines, of essentials, of opportunities for education. How does that make things better? I hope that wisdom will prevail as it did the last time, and the Tatmadaw will conclude that to go the military route does not lead anywhere, and they have to work out an arrangement with a civilian government which has been democratically elected.